What if the Dead Sea, that heavy, salt-choked lake between Israel and Jordan, wasn't just a strange patch of water but once a laboratory of the gods? The first time I floated there, I felt like clay in someone else's mixing bowl. The salt lifted me, held me, burned my skin raw where it was cracked. Around me, the desert shimmered, barren as a skull. People joked and splashed, but the silence in that place is a silence that hums. It feels less like a sea and more like a crucible, where something powerful was cooked a long time ago. Ancient texts already hint at strangeness. The book of Genesis said Sodom and Gomorrah. Here cities reduced to ash by fire from the sky. Lot's wife, turned to a pillar of salt, is said to stand along its shores. The Dead Sea Scrolls, unearthed in caves nearby, are whispers of hidden knowledge. Even Roman historians wrote of strange gases and odd sicknesses around the water. It's not just a lake, it's a scar. From a native perspective, scars matter. A canyon is where the earth remembers fire. A desert spring is where memory still runs under sand. If the Dead Sea feels unnatural, maybe that's because it was made unnatural, shaped by forces greater than weather. A laboratory leaves behind residue. The Dead Sea feels like residue. Consider the chemistry. The water is 10 times saltier than the ocean, dense with minerals like magnesium, bromine, and asphalt seep. Asphalt tar that rises from the depths, sticky and black, collected even in antiquity. Egyptians used it for mummification. But what if that tar wasn't just natural seepage? What if it was waste? A byproduct of experiments run by beings who saw this valley as the perfect open-air lab. Imagine them. The Anunnaki, or some other sky people, descending to test creation itself. The valley is the lowest place on Earth lag. A natural bow. They pour chemicals, mix salts, heat with fire from the heavens. Cities spring up around their work, tended by humans caught between worship and servitude. Then, when the experiments turn volatile, the land burns. Columns of smoke rise. The valley fills with toxic brine. The gods leave, and humans inherit the ruins. Even the stories line up. Fire and brimstone raining on Sodom could be meteor fragments igniting chemical stores. Lot's wife turning to salt could be blast shadow and crystallization. The scrolls tucked into caves may not just be scripture, they could be field notes, records of what the laboratory was used for. Why else would they be hidden, carefully sealed, buried against time? Here's where it gets eerie. Modern researchers find sinkholes forming around the Dead Sea, sudden collapses swallowing roads and palm groves. It's as if the land is still unstable, still settling after experiments long forgotten. Some geologists even propose the area was struck by an asteroid in antiquity, releasing the very conditions described in scripture. Whether by impact or by design, the place carries the fingerprint of something catastrophic. From the perspective of my elders, the gods are never gone. They only step sideways. If the Dead Sea was their lab, then its salt, its gases, its silence are all reminders, not curses, but warnings. This was the place where forces too great for humans were once tested. Walk softly. Do not mistake poison for blessing. Picture yourself standing at dawn on those barren shores. The water gleams silver, still as glass. The air tastes metallic. You hear nothing, yet feel watched. Beneath the surface, who knows what lies breed ruins, sealed jars, or perhaps fragments of machines too strange to name. The laboratory may not be closed. It may simply be dormant, waiting for the right trigger, the right cycle, the right human curiosity to stir it awake. If the Dead Sea was once a laboratory of the gods, then our stories of judgment may be less about morality and more about memory. Not warnings against sin, but against tinkering with powers that burn worlds. The gods tested creation here once. Maybe they will again.